and I were recently invited to Beijing for a study tour with Visiber, a company that applies a method that uses appropriate theories to analyze the characteristics of a person or a place with symbols and numbers. The tour took us to the Temple of Heaven, a complex of religious buildings visited by the emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties for annual ceremonies of prayers for good harvest and prosperity. The whole temple is surrounded by two cordons of walls. The outer wall has a taller, semicircle end representing heaven and a shorter rectangular end representing earth. The number 9 represents the emperor and is evident in the design of the circular mound altar. A single round marmor plate is surrounded by a ring of 9 plates, then a ring of 18 plates, and so on for a total of 9 surrounding rings, the outermost having 9 by 9 rings. There is also a beautiful sizable park surrounding this ancient building, where locals are seen practicing Tai Chi or playing games and dancing to traditional music. It wasn't long before I ended up dancing along with the locals in an impromptu exercise regime. The next day, I took a stroll around the heart of traditional Beijing in the tranquil hutong, or narrow alleys that have been the hub of the city's street life for over 700 years. As Beijing continues to modernize, the hutong are under threat. Another thing that seems to be demolishing is the Showreel, or courtyard house. The crew and I visited the Prince Gong Mansion, which was built based on the Showreel dynamics, but on a much larger scale. A typical Beijing courtyard house, or a Showreel, employs an invisible north-south axis when designing the layout of the house. Upon entering the house, one is greeted with a screen wall which in the past carried the function of warding off evil spirits, maintaining the privacy as well as creating space. The layout of the Showreel is based on the amount of light that it receives. For instance, in the northern area, it receives the most sunlight, hence it is usually used as the living room or the bedroom for the elders. And the southern area receives the least sunlight, hence it being used as rooms for the service staff or as the studio. This mansion was constructed in 1777 for the minister He Shun during the Qianlong reign. From a young age, He Shun was very much trusted by Emperor Qianlong and was able to make large promotion and accumulate a lot of wealth during this imperial administration. With his wealth and power, He Shun was keen on choosing an ideal site with superior feng shui for his new household, hence this mansion being built on the auspicious Dragon Vein of Beijing. It was built to look like a small-scale replica of the imperial palace at the Forbidden City.
So everything right from the front part to the garden is all mimicking what we call the imperial palace. It is very particular and very minute on details, on all the things that is of the utmost inauspiciousness, so that he can ensure longevity.
Upon arriving the center of the lush gardens of Beijing, I was mesmerized by the artificial hills. One hill caught my eye, and I was told that underneath it stood a stone tablet inscribed with the Chinese character Fu, which means happiness, in the calligraphy of Emperor Kangji.
He built a very interesting structure, which is like a small little mountain, okay? A landscape of mountain, which at the top of the landscape, it has 2 dragons. Okay, so this mountainous, so-called landscape, which has the dragon on top, there's a purpose for it. Is like, for example, in the future, just in case anyone would like to basically tear down this structure, okay, they are basically tearing down like the feng shui of the emperor, because dragon symbolizes the emperor.
Designs of bats are commonly found around the garden. There is even a pond in the shape of a bat that was built for good luck and to maintain He Shun's wealth.
Fu is bat, okay? Fu is also symbolizing like prosperity in Chinese character. So they took the phonetic, or the pronunciation of it and created all the structure, even on the the facade of the building, the windows and everything else, to have this little bat.
I truly enjoyed my visit at the Prince Kong mansion as I was drawn to the history and the mindset of the smart and cunning minister. Some say he was corrupted. Others have a more romantic version to this story. I found his courage and determination of wanting to be of imperial status an inspirational story of grit and willpower.